Over 75% of the sodium quietly straining your kidneys right now is not coming from your salt shaker. It never has been. And that single fact is exactly why so many careful, thoughtful people still end up surprised when their doctor mentions numbers that are slowly creeping in the wrong direction. Have you ever felt a heavy kind of tired, the kind that sleep just won't fix? Do your shoes feel a little snug by late afternoon, or your rings seem tighter, even when nothing in your routine has changed? Has a doctor ever mentioned your blood pressure, or your kidney results, and you nodded politely, while a quiet worry settled in your chest, not quite sure what to ask? If any of that feels familiar, please know this: you are not imagining it. And you are absolutely not alone. Right now, your body's cleanup crew is working overtime, without ever sending you a warning. Your kidneys filter every single drop of blood you have. They remove what you don't need, keep your fluids balanced, and help your bones stay strong, hour after hour, day after day. But they don't cry out when they're struggling. They just adapt. Without warning. Until the struggle starts to show. And as the years go by, that balancing act gets harder. Think of your kidneys like an engine that has logged 1,000,000 faithful miles. It still runs, but it simply doesn't have the same margin for error it once did. What your body handled easily in your 30s, now requires a little more care. Which is exactly why that hidden sodium matters so much today. It's not some rare chemical or complicated toxin. It's a simple pantry staple, and it's hiding where you least expect it. You might think, but I barely touched the salt shaker. And I completely believe you. Because the real culprit isn't in your kitchen cabinet. It's in the packaging. Over 3/4 of the sodium we consume is already baked into foods that don't even taste salty. A single slice of bread. A scoop of cottage cheese. A can of soup. A package of frozen meals or deli meat. The food industry uses sodium for preservation and texture, not flavor. And your body? It treats every milligram exactly the same. When sodium builds up in your system, your cells pull in extra water to dilute it. That extra fluid expands your blood volume. And suddenly, those delicate, microscopic filters inside your hard-working organs are facing higher pressure, with every single heartbeat. Imagine trying to rinse a delicate silk scarf with a fire hose turned on full blast. The force is simply too much. Over time, the fibers weaken. The fabric frays. That is exactly what unmanaged pressure does to your body's natural filters, day after silent day. But here is the turning point. You do not have to give up your favorite meals. You do not have to live with bland food or constant worry. And the fix does not require a kitchen overhaul. It takes about 4 seconds, and you can do it on your very next grocery trip. All you need is one simple habit. One that puts you back in control of hidden sodium, without costing you a single thing. But before I share that 4-second trick, there is something else you need to see. Because sodium isn't working alone in your system. There is another everyday ingredient, one that sits on almost every kitchen counter, one that most people genuinely believe is completely harmless, that quietly teams up with sodium and multiplies the strain on your organs. Most people are truly stunned when they find out what it is, because it's something they've enjoyed for years, thinking it was just a harmless comfort. That is exactly what we're going to uncover next. So stay close, because the next few minutes will change how you look at your own pantry, forever. Let's talk about that 4-second trick I promised. Because it's simpler than you might think. And it works on one of the biggest hidden sodium traps sitting right in your kitchen: canned beans, vegetables, and soups. Next time you open a can, don't pour it straight into your bowl or pot. Just drain it, then give it a quick rinse under cool running water. That's it. 4 seconds. And that single rinse washes away nearly half of the added sodium, without changing the taste, or the nutrition. That one small habit alone can meaningfully reduce your daily sodium load. Simple. Free. Starting today. Now, take a breath. Let that sink in. You don't need a complicated plan. You just needed to know this. But here's what most people miss: sodium is only half the story. Because there's another ingredient quietly working alongside it, and it's one most people never suspect. Have you ever noticed that heavy, foggy feeling a few hours after a meal, even when the food didn't seem rich or heavy at all? That isn't just aging. It's often your blood sugar quietly climbing, and pulling your kidneys right along with it. Think about your kitchen counter for just a moment. Right next to the salt shaker, there's likely a loaf of soft white bread, a box of plain crackers, or a jar of sweetened pasta sauce. These aren't treats. They're everyday staples. And they contain sugar and refined flour in a way that quietly multiplies the strain on your body, one meal at a time. Here's exactly what happens when they enter your system. Refined carbs and hidden sugars turn into glucose almost instantly. Your blood sugar jumps. Your pancreas rushes out insulin to clear it away. But when this happens day after day, your cells start to ignore the signal. The sugar lingers. And that lingering sugar is exactly what your kidneys have to filter. Imagine trying to pour thick, sticky syrup through those delicate microscopic filters, instead of clean water. The syrup coats the walls. The filters stiffen. And over time, that stiffness turns into quiet, invisible damage. Doctors call it diabetic kidney disease. But you can call it what it really is, a slow wear and tear that creeps up when we least expect it. So many people share this same worry. I watch what I eat. I try to stay healthy. How is this even happening to me? And the truth is, it's not your fault. The food system has made it incredibly hard to tell the difference between real nourishment and hidden strain. Because sugar rarely says sugar on the label. It shows up as dextrose, maltodextrin, evaporated cane juice, rice syrup, or even something as innocent sounding as fruit concentrate. But once you learn those hidden names, the grocery aisle stops being a trap. And suddenly, you're back in control. You don't need to give up the foods that bring you comfort. You just need a smarter way to enjoy them. And the swap I'm about to show you next? It doesn't require buying anything expensive. You probably already have it in your pantry right now. You've just never thought to use it this way. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to make your favorite meals work for your kidneys, not against them. Go ahead and grab something to write with, because what's coming next is genuinely worth keeping. And once you see it, the way you shop, cook, and eat will never feel quite the same. Let's talk about that swap. Because this isn't about giving up your morning toast. Or skipping the crackers you've loved for years. It's about a tiny, gentle shift, one that quietly changes how your body handles everything you eat. Next time you reach for refined white bread, or a bowl of plain pasta, simply pair it with one extra thing. Just one. A handful of real food that's rich in natural fiber. Think half a cup of rinsed beans, a fresh apple with the skin still on, or even a small handful of nuts. That's it. You're not taking away what you enjoy. You're just giving your body a soft cushion to land on. Here's exactly why it works. When refined carbs hit your stomach alone, they turn into glucose almost instantly. That sugar rushes into your bloodstream like a crowd sprinting through a wide-open door. Your body scrambles to catch it. Your blood sugar spikes. But add that fiber first, and it's like guiding that same crowd into a calm, steady walk. The sugar releases slowly. Your insulin doesn't panic. And your kidneys, those tireless, hard-working filters, don't get slammed with a sudden wave of stress. It really is that simple. You keep your familiar meals. You just give your body a little more time to handle them with grace. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What about everything already sitting in my pantry? How do I know what's safe, without spending hours studying labels? That's a completely fair question. And the good news is, you don't need to memorize ingredient lists or carry a nutrition guide to the store. You just need to look at two numbers on the back of the box. Flip the package over. Find the nutrition facts panel. And scan for two things, sodium and added sugars. If one serving lists more than 200 milligrams of sodium, pause. If it shows more than 10 grams of added sugars, pause. You don't have to throw it away. You just need to see it. Because once you see it, you start making quiet, confident choices. You stop wondering why your energy crashes hard at 3 in the afternoon, or why your ankles feel heavy by evening. You start connecting the dots. And when you see the pattern, you realize you never needed a drastic overhaul. You just needed a clear rule. Protecting your kidneys shouldn't feel like a punishment. It just needs to be simple enough to actually do. But here's where it gets tricky. Because the real danger isn't hiding in obvious junk food anymore. It's tucked inside products wearing labels you completely trust. Words like heart healthy, low fat, whole grain, or even all natural. And those very words, the ones that feel reassuring, are often covering up the exact thing we're trying to avoid. The food industry has a clever way of stripping out fat or salt, and quietly replacing it with sugar or sodium blends to preserve the flavor you love. That swap is invisible on the surface, but your kidneys feel it with every single bite. It's the reason so many careful, health-conscious people still see stubborn numbers on their lab results, even when they're genuinely doing their best. So how do you spot it, before it ever makes it into your kitchen? I'm going to walk you through the exact phrase to look for. The one ingredient name that gives the game away, every single time. It takes 2 seconds to find. And once you know it, you will never feel tricked by a healthy-sounding label again. Stay right here, because this next part is going to change the way you read every single package you buy, from this day forward. Before we move on to the next one, if you are finding this kind of decoded health information helpful, please take a second to like and share this video with someone who needs to see it. Your feedback genuinely means a lot, so drop a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you have. And if you want to make sure you never miss our future sessions, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon right now. Let's talk about that phrase. Because it's hiding in plain sight, on labels you trust every single day. You see a box that says, heart healthy, or low fat, or made with whole grains, and you feel good about choosing it. It feels like the right call. But then you flip it over. And right there in the ingredient list, you'll often find one word that changes everything. Maltodextrin. That single word is the food industry's favorite shortcut. It means they stripped something out to make it look lighter on the front, and quietly replaced it with a processed starch that your body converts straight into glucose. And your kidneys feel that switch immediately. It's not the only disguise you'll come across. You might also spot modified food starch, or natural flavors, doing the exact same job. Different names. Same effect. But they all follow one simple rule. If any of those 3 appear in the first 5 ingredients, that healthy package is quietly working against the very balance you're trying to build. So here's your 2-second test. Scan the list. Find maltodextrin, or one of its cousins. If it's there, just set it down. No guilt. No confusion. Just a clear, calm choice. That is the real shift happening here. You're no longer guessing. You're choosing. And once you start reading labels through that lens, something quiet but powerful begins to happen. You stop feeling tricked by clever marketing. You stop wondering why your routine isn't translating into how you actually feel. You start trusting your own eyes again. Because your kidneys don't need perfection. They just need you to notice the big patterns. You came here looking for answers. Wondering why your body feels different today than it did 10 years ago. Telling yourself it was just age. Maybe bad luck. But the truth is so much simpler, and so much kinder than that. It wasn't your fault. It was simply information you hadn't been given yet. And now, you have it. The hidden sodium. The quiet sugar. The clever labels. You can finally see the full picture. And seeing it, truly seeing it, changes how you move through your kitchen, forever. But knowing the traps is only the first half of the story. The second half is how you rebuild. How you stock your pantry so that every meal feels light and nourishing. How you adjust your daily rhythm so your body finally gets the steady, even energy it's been quietly asking for. And how to make all of it feel completely natural, instead of exhausting. I'm going to walk you through a simple, gentle system that ties everything together, starting with the one daily habit that gives your kidneys the breathing room they need to recover, on their own. Stay with me. Because what's coming next isn't just another tip. It's the quiet routine that brings it all home. Let's talk about that one daily habit. Because it's not a pill. It's not a strict schedule. And it doesn't require you to overhaul your entire routine overnight. It's simply about giving your kidneys the steady rhythm they've been missing. Think of your body like a quiet stream. When you pour a full pitcher of water into it all at once, the banks flood, the current turns wild, and nothing gets filtered the way it should. But when you let that water trickle in slowly, hour after hour, the stream stays clear. The flow stays gentle. And every natural filter along the way does exactly what it was designed to do. That's exactly how your kidneys prefer to work. They don't want sudden surges. They want consistency. So here's the habit. Start your day with one full glass of room temperature water, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything else. Just slow, steady sips. Then carry that rhythm forward. Keep a small glass nearby, and take 3 or 4 gentle sips every hour. That's it. No tracking. No math. No stress. Just steady hydration that keeps your filtration system quietly moving, without ever overwhelming it. Now, you might be wondering how this fits with everything else we've covered, the hidden sodium, the lingering sugars, the clever packaging. And the beautiful truth is, it ties them all together. When your body stays consistently hydrated, it naturally helps flush out excess sodium, gives your cells the fluid they need to process glucose smoothly, and supports that quiet, gentle cleaning your organs do while you rest. Pair that steady water with something as simple as a 10-minute walk after lunch, and you're already giving those tiny filters the circulation boost they need to work at their very best. You're not chasing perfection. You're just removing the friction. Now, I know what might be crossing your mind right now. What if I forget? What if life gets busy and I slip back into old routines? Please hear this clearly, you will miss a day. You will reach for something convenient. You will skip your walk. And that is completely, entirely normal. This was never about keeping a perfect scorecard. It's about building a rhythm so gentle, that one missed day doesn't break the system. It just means you return to it tomorrow. That is how lasting change actually happens. Not in dramatic overhauls, but in quiet, consistent returns. And once you feel that return, once you notice your mind clearing in the morning, your steps feeling a little lighter, your digestion settling into something comfortable and steady, you won't need willpower anymore. You'll just have momentum. And once that momentum builds, the next step is making it travel with you. Into family dinners. Into quiet weekend mornings. Into tired afternoons when the old habits quietly try to resurface. Because here is the final truth that most health guides simply leave out. Staying on track doesn't require more discipline. It requires a different environment. When your kitchen counter is arranged just slightly differently, when the default choice sitting right in front of you is the one your body loves most, the hard choices simply disappear. I'm going to show you exactly how to set that up in under 10 minutes, using only what you already own. It's not about fighting yourself anymore. It's about letting your surroundings do the gentle work for you. Stay close, because this final piece is so simple, you'll find yourself wondering why no one taught it to us years ago. Let's talk about that 10-minute setup. Because it doesn't require buying new containers or rearranging your whole house. It just asks you to shift what sits within easy reach. Take a quiet moment this week, and move the gentle choices right out front. Place a bowl of fresh apples, or a simple pitcher of water, on the counter where your keys usually sit. Keep your rinsed beans and prepped vegetables at the very front of the fridge shelf, where you'll see them the moment the door swings open. And slide those familiar crackers, sweet sauces, or packaged snacks to a higher shelf or a lower cabinet, just far enough that reaching for them requires a conscious step, instead of a mindless grab. It sounds almost too simple to actually work. But that's exactly why it does. We don't choose based on willpower. We choose based on what's already waiting for us. When the supportive option is the closest one, your body naturally follows the path of least resistance. And your kidneys, those quiet, hard-working filters, finally get to breathe, without fighting through friction every single hour. This is how everything we've covered today finally locks into place. You notice the hidden sodium, and rinse the cans. You spot the clever labels, and set them down. You pair your favorite breads with real fiber. You start your morning with that slow, steady glass of water. And you arrange your kitchen so the right choice never feels like a battle. None of these steps are extreme. None of them demand perfection. They just ask for your quiet attention. Real change doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from making the easy path the healthy path. When your surroundings are set up to support you, you stop relying on motivation. You start relying on momentum. And that momentum compounds. One rinse becomes a habit. One morning glass becomes a ritual. One label check becomes second nature. You stop feeling like you're managing a strict diet, and start feeling like you're simply living your life, only with clearer choices. That heavy uncertainty begins to lift. You walk into a grocery store, and instead of scanning for traps, you see a map you already know how to read. You sit down at a family dinner, and instead of worrying about every bite, you enjoy what's on your plate, because you know you've already built a steady foundation into your week. This is the real protection. Not restriction. Not fear. Just awareness, followed by gentle action. A quiet, steady wall of care around your kidneys, your energy, and your independence. Your body was designed to find balance. You just needed to see where the friction was hiding and step out of its way. And now, you do. That knowledge is yours to keep. So here is what I gently ask of you before you go. Don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one thing. One glass of water tomorrow morning. One package you flip over. One slow stroll after lunch. Build from there. Let progress feel light. Let it feel kind. And when you notice a small shift, a clearer mind at breakfast, a lighter step on the stairs, a calm, quiet confidence in your own choices, remember this moment. Remember that you chose to pay attention. That is where lasting change always begins. If this information has given you a sense of hope, or a new tool for your health journey, please like and share this video with someone who needs to see it. I genuinely value your feedback, so leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want to stay informed with more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you are always the first to know.